What's good, bro? I'm not gonna waste any of your time. The first tip I can give you is wherever you are, be there. If you're at the beach, don't be thinking about work. And if you're at work, don't think about the gym. If you're at the gym, don't think about the beach. Wherever you are, be there totally. Mindfulness is really simply just making us more aware of what's happening. So when you're mindful, you're more present. If you can be more present, you can be more happy. Don't you understand? A lot of times we're just in our heads, in our heads, in our heads. There's no happiness to be found in our mind. Happiness is where you are. You can't wait for later to be happy. It doesn't work like that. You can't save your happiness for later. You only have right now, so use it. Wes Watson always says, be present for your pain. I was the worst at this. But growth is on the other side of that presence. When you're present for your pain, instead of doing what other people will do, which is just instant gratification, other people will say, yeah, I'm not present, but at least I can eat a slice of pizza. It's like, no, fuck that. Instead of grabbing a bottle, instead of grabbing a blunt, just be there and feel the pain and use the pain to mold you. Understand what's happening to yourself. Understand how you got into that situation in the first place. Use that so that you're not in that situation again. And if you are in that situation again, you understand what to do. So here's the thing, right? When you're present for your pain, you prepare yourself for the future. When you try to escape your pain, you only perpetuate it. You keep yourself in the situation. It's gonna happen again until you learn the lesson. There were so many times where I tried to escape, only to find myself back in the same situation. It doesn't work. The only thing you can do is just be present, and you'll get through it. So even if you feel like shit, even if you don't feel like it, it's actually especially when you don't feel like it is when you should be the most present, because there's growth on the other side of that presence. I'm telling you, you don't need to escape it. The second tip I can give you is start meditating today. Like, if you haven't already meditated today, what are you doing? There's an app that I use called Medito. I'll link it below, but it's free meditation. It's the only completely free meditation app that I've seen. I have no association with them, but it worked for me, and that's what I use every day. But let me tell you a story. So a few weeks ago, my dad decided that he wanted to do a grief counseling session. So I was like, okay, because my dad, obviously, he lost his wife. I lost my mom. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll join in. So I took some time to be there with them. My brother and my dad were both there. And during this session, they had us journaling. They asked us all these questions. How are you coping? How's your emotions? How are you spiritually? And after we wrote all of our responses, we started sharing some of them. And then after we were done sharing them, the session was just about finished. And the person who was leading the session asked me, because I was reading this book about mindfulness, she asked me if I could lead the group in a session of mindfulness, an exercise, a meditation. So I said, okay, not a problem. So I got my phone, I pulled out the app that I just told you about, and then I told everyone to close their eyes. Everyone did. And then we started listening. So when we started listening, it was like a 3-minute meditation, tops, maybe 5 minutes. And the guy just told us to take some deep breaths and just be present. And then the session finished. Everybody opened their eyes. I looked at my dad, and he was smiling. He was beaming in his face, almost like he had never been present since this whole thing happened. Because his mind's always wandering. That's what it does. And if your mind's wandering, you're not present. But it's okay. It's part of the process. And so with my dad and everybody in that room, we all talked about how when we were finally present, we could hear the birds chirping outside. We couldn't even hear them before, and they were there. But because we were present, we truly enjoyed the moment. So if you haven't started to meditate, you don't understand what it's like to be truly present and what it's like to be wandering in the mind and what it's like to pull yourself back into the present moment. So start doing it today. You'll notice massive benefits in your life and you'll just be more happy. The last tip I can give you is to breathe more fully. A lot of times we're just shallow breathing, mouth breathing, and we don't even take the time to notice how shallow our breaths are and how unfulfilling they are. But breathing can be a satisfying experience. Here's the thing, when our mind is racing, we can use our body to calm it down. What do I mean by that? There's a psychologist who used to work with patients, and if a patient came to their room and their patient was hyperventilating, they were stressed, they didn't know what to do, the psychologist told them this: I'm not even going to help you until you do 50 squats. And so the person would be like, what? I need your help. And they're like, no, do the squats. So the person would just do some bodyweight squats, keep on going until like they were at failure. And by the time they reached that point, they were calm. So you can use your body. It's the same idea with your breath. You use your breath to make you more present. So what you do is this, right? You breathe in fully like this. Make sure you breathe into your stomach. And then breathe in again. And let it out. Some of you won't do this. You're probably a pussy if you haven't done it yet, but who cares? You should do this multiple times a day. Try to be as mindful as you can and watch how it changes your life. Welcome to the present moment. That's reality. Peace.